Welcome, children. So we are back with chapter number 16, Reflection of Light in Science subject. Today, after learning the laws of reflection, we are going to try to solve certain problems based on those laws. Okay. The first law of reflection that we have studied is angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. That is the first law of reflection. Based on that, how can we solve different problems that we are going to see today? Okay. So first of all, one problem we are going to take. If the reflected ray makes an angle of 60° with the normal, that means you have to immediately imagine or you can draw a plane mirror and incident ray falling on it at the point of incidence, as well as we have to draw the normal and the reflected ray. So this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray. See the arrows, okay? They tell you the direction. Here you see what is given. What is given? The reflected ray makes an angle of 60° with the normal. That means this angle of reflection. Reflected ray is this and incident ray is this. So, reflected ray is making an angle of 60° with the normal. So, this angle is 60°. So, angle of reflection given is 60°. Okay? What angle must the incident ray make with the normal? Means this angle you have to find out with the normal it is said. Okay? So read the problem carefully and try to understand that. So, according to our law of reflection, as angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection, and angle of reflection is given to you. Therefore, angle of incidence is going to be 60°. Directly we are going to get the answer. No need to calculate much, isn't it? So it's very easy to calculate and find out the angles that are being in demand. Okay. This problem you can note down in your fair copy. One more problem that we shall take. What angle will the reflected ray make with the mirror? You see the terms that are used. Now, if this is the mirror, this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray, and this is the normal. These three things anyhow you have to draw and try to understand what is asked in the problem. So, what angle will the reflected ray make with the mirror? With the mirror. This is the mirror, isn't it? Therefore, we have to find out this angle, not the angle of reflection here. If the angle of incidence is 40, angle of incidence means where the incident ray is touching the mirror at the point of incidence and the normal. Angle of incidence is this one between the normal and incident ray. So that is given 40°, and we have to find out what the angle between the reflected ray and the mirror. This one we have to find out. Very simple. Because we know according to the first law of reflection, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Therefore, here also the angle of reflection is going to be 40 degrees, isn't it? And the normal is always perpendicular to the mirror. Okay, perpendicular means what? Making an angle of 90 degree. Normal always makes an angle of 90 degree with the mirror. Therefore, if angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, that is also 40 degrees. If I want to find out the angle between the angle of reflection and the mirror, what I will have to do is, out of 90, I will have to subtract this angle of incidence to get the angle between the angle of reflection and the mirror. So, again here angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection, that is given 40 degree. As normal is perpendicular to the mirror, the angle always will be 90 degree at a right angle. It's a right angle. So, normal is perpendicular to the mirror. Therefore, angle between the normal and the mirror is going to be 90 degree, that is right angle triangle. And if I want to find out angle of reflected ray and the mirror, angle that is formed between the reflected ray and the mirror, angle between reflected ray and the mirror, what will I get? 90 minus 40. What I'll have to do is 90 degree minus 40 degree. And how much I'm going to get is obviously 50 degree. Okay. This angle between the incident ray and the mirror will also be 50 degree. And angle between the reflected ray and mirror will also be 50 degree. 90 minus 40 is P. Okay. Hope you got how to solve these problems related to your laws of reflection. One more problem we can take. Third one, you can note down in the pair copies. First of all, you understand and then try to solve. Third one, you see, if the angle between the incident ray and reflected ray, incident ray and reflected ray. Try to understand the terms. What is given? The angle between the incident ray and the reflected ray is 90 degrees. Okay. What are the values? What is being asked? What are the values of angle of incidence and angle of reflection? These two things you have to find out. So very simple. Again, you can draw a mirror, incident ray at the point of incidence, reflected ray moving away from the mirror, and the normal. Okay. What is given to you? The angle between incident ray and the reflected ray is given here. So this complete angle is given to you as 90 degrees. Now, how much will be the angle of incidence and angle of reflection? So here you can understand that angle of incidence plus angle of reflection is given to be 90 degrees. If I want to find out any of the angles, I will have to subtract the another one. But according to the law of reflection, angle I is always equal to angle R. Therefore, this 90 degree will be divided into two equal halves and I will be getting angle I as well as angle R. Isn't it? So, both are same. 90 divided by 2, I am going to get 45 degrees. 45 degree, one angle, 45 degree, another angle. And 45 plus 45, I am going to get 90 degrees. Isn't it? So, angle I is 45, angle R is also 45, and they both together have formed this 90 degree angle. So, that way, different things will be asked to you related to this first law of reflection, very important law, that angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection and the normal is always perpendicular to the mirror. Therefore, the angle between the mirror and the normal is always going to be 90 degrees. So, you can get the angles between the reflected ray and the mirror, incident ray and the mirror also. Okay, so that way you can solve these problems and note down in your fair copies. Further next question answers we shall see in the next class. Okay then, bye all of you.